Dave Mustaine beating you up, which I have to think, look, everyone knows him as this guy, and it's like now he has a record that just came out. Why not be that guy? And because he's running on this self-righteous platform of like, David is this pariah, so I'm offended by him. I'll forgive him. All these different stages of death and dying.
He's fighting with himself. Like there's no one, he's in a game of tug of war with himself. I'm not fighting with him. I've just moved on. You know what I mean? It's like, I remember we talked about that after he jammed with Metallica on the Big Four. I said, how was that last night playing Am I Evil? And he said, those guys kicked me out of the band and they just moved on. And I held on to the resentment for all these years. It's like same thing for me. It's like, why is he resenting me? It's like he got rid of me. Supposedly the problem should have gone away if he got rid of me, but the problem still semes to be there. Maybe they fired the wrong guy. I don't know.
No, that's probably a lifelong problem at this point. It's like eternal dissatisfaction. I mean, yeah.
Well, look, I think part of it too is he's obviously not gotten over this thing about being fired from Metallica. So he wanted to do to somebody else what he felt they did to him, which is kick him out, and then someone else played his guitar parts. So let's kick Junior out, and then we'll have someone else play his bass parts. And to me, I'm like, I don't care. I already fucking helped put the record together. I played on the record. I got paid to be on the record. So, hey, if you want someone else playing it, whatever, He's fighting with himself. The guy that goes, hello, me. Meet the real me, and then even accuses you of not being the guy that he used to know. Maybe he's not the personality that he was. Well, look, the role only worked if I would be Junior and say, yes, Dave, right? Because those are the only two words that work, in the Emperor's New Clothing. Yes, Dave, you know what I mean? And as soon as you don't say that, and as soon as you have an opinion or try to be collaborative or, look, the 90s were the period of the band that had the greatest output for a reason. First of all, we were very equally yoked as far as how we thought, how we looked. There was a synergy about it, but it was also very collaborative. Nick Menza talked about it in his book, and Marty even talked about it in the Rest in Peace book.
Marty Friedman is one of my biggest heroes. We had him on Lost Symphony, and for those that don't know, we did a tribute to our friend Ollie Herbert, and we actually reunited you with Marty Friedman on these tunes. So if people want to go back and hear, I guess, 50% of the Rust in Peace lineup, it exists on Lost Symphony Chapter 3. But there's one thing I read, because I remember the whole Risk period of Megadeth, and on Blabbermouth it says, quote, Dave Mustaine, one of the main reasons Marty Friedman left Megadeth was because of the solo in Bread Fan. Bread Fan, Metallica. Breadline. Yeah. See, I conflated it. That was a song where Marty wanted to do the solo so badly, and he did. But when we got the song back, our management said, we don't like that solo. Marty was already gone, so I agreed to redo it. But I told them they'd have to tell Marty, and they didn't. Basically, they didn't tell Marty. There was it was the onus of the record company to tell Marty. So when upon playback, Marty starts crying.
Oh, I remember because it's funny because I remember sitting there complimenting Marty going, dude, that is a kick-ass solo. And he kind of was like, and he's like, I didn't play that. I'm like, oh
God.
All right, Dave. Well, that's a really good solo. It kind of sounded like Marty. You know what I mean? And that was the moment right there when that happened. Now, look,
it's your fault.
Obviously, no one leaves a band over one solo. Honestly, for Marty, the ending had started back in '93 when a drug and alcohol issue within the band had happened. The tour was canceled. Japan, Budokan was canceled. Me and Marty had already gone over to Japan a few months earlier to do press and, take pictures outside of Budokan. I mean, to play Budokan is the holy grail. And when that was canceled, that Marty even said on Euthanasia, or maybe it's on Cryptic Writings, he goes, man, that the wind was really taken out of our sails. And we kind of got it back a little bit on Euthanasia. We went back over to Euthanasia for about 3 weeks and toured Japan at that time. But we never played Budokan. We never kind of hit that level again. As big as Megadeth, was and has been, that was the one for Marty. That was kind of the one. And I think when that went away and he realized he would never get that back, I think for him, that was kind of I would say that was the beginning of the end for him.